Nobody on their deathbed ever said, I wish I'd spent more time in the office. It's very important to be able to balance family and work, but how do you do that? Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a really special format. I'm doing a Q&A show. You ask the questions, I get the experts to answer them, and then I give you the answers. So today we have a question from Amma. I'm a middle manager in my company and I value my work and I want to be successful in it. It's important to me that I'm able to give my 3 children the best opportunities and experiences, and having this job enables me to do that. But I also want to be able to spend time with my spouse and children. However, the demands of my job mean that I'm often out of the house before the children wake up and don't get back until they're in bed. I feel very stressed because it feels that I'm missing a key part of my children's lives and not having enough time for my spouse. For this problem, we went to psychologist Dr Araba Sefa-Dedeh, who also happens to be my mother, and we posed her this question, and this was her answer. This is a common problem that young professionals face in this busy modern world. Nobody on their deathbed ever said, I wish I'd spent more time in the office. It's very important to be able to balance family and work, but how do you do that? While there is no perfect formula, there are some general guidelines that could be helpful. Research has shown that it's not the quantity of time that you spend with your family that matters. It's the quality of time. So when time is an issue, then what you want to do is to make sure that the little time you have together is quality time. Just like at work, you block off time for specific projects, plan for them, and make sure you deliver. You also need to plan the little time you have with your family very, very carefully so that it becomes high quality time. Now, Dr. Sefa-Dedeh shared with us 5 tips for making more time, 5 tips for making the time you have quality time, and then some examples of great activities that you could do to be able to create quality time. If you'd like to ask a question to me or one of our experts, you can either join my Facebook group, you can follow my Telegram channel. If you want to ask anonymously, you just go to the website marketexpress.com.gh and fill out the anonymous form there and ask your question. I'm going to put links to all of those in the description box. And if you'd like to also be notified whenever there are new questions and answer videos like this, just hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button so that you don't miss any of these Q&As. We'll start with 5 tips for making more time with your kids. The first tip is to look at the weekends and the time that you do have with your kids and deliberately turn those times into quality time. The second tip is to begin to look at time that you haven't considered as time with your kids. For example, time you spend dropping them off at school or taking them to a doctor's appointment or other errands that you may run where they come along, and turning those times also into quality time. Tip number 3 is to come home early at least 1 or 2 nights every week. One way to do this is you can take your work home with you if it's possible, spend time with your kids, and after they go to bed, you do your work. You can also negotiate with your employer to be able to finish early 1 or 2 nights a week and make up on other nights. The fourth way you can make more quality time is to call your kids. Even if you are stuck in the office or you are in transit, if you call them at bedtime, have a quick video call with them, say a prayer with them. If you're not driving, you can even read a short paragraph of a book with them or have a discussion with them about their day. That way you can make more time. You're not physically in the same room with them, but through technology, you're able to connect. And tip number 5 is to save time by using technology to make you more efficient. So for example, I do my shopping online on MarketExpress.com.gh when the kids have gone to bed and the groceries get delivered. And so I save the time I would spend going to the grocery store, and that gives me more time to spend with my kids. It's very important that you also make time for your spouse. If you work close to each other, you can have lunch together 1 or 2 times a month. You can also one evening a month go out and do something you both enjoy. Go out and have dinner together and spend quality time with each other. And another thing you can do with a spouse, you could stay at home and do something fun together after the kids have gone to bed. You can watch a movie together at home or just sit and chat. Do something that relaxes you, that both of you enjoy. Just remember that quality time is not the time to spend resolving differences. You want quality time to just be enjoyable time. Don't get into any fights. This is not the time to bring up any major issues. This is just a time to show love and to have love shown to you. So now we go into the tips for making the time you have quality time. So the goal in creating quality time is to make the time easy and enjoyable. So you really need to keep it simple. So quality time is about 1, making your spouse and children feel special and loved. So think about what you can do in this time, what you can say in this time that will make them feel special and loved. The second tip is getting them to share their thoughts, their feelings, their point of view, and you trying to understand them and accept them. And you show understanding by asking questions, clarifying exactly what they mean, saying the words, I understand how you feel. I understand how that could have been. So in quality time, you want to spend more time listening and more time expressing empathy and understanding. Tip number 3 is to share your thoughts with them. It's important that it's a back and forth. So after you've understood them, you want to share your thoughts, your point of view with them, and also sharing your experiences with them, but avoiding conflict. And so you want to share your point of view, how you've experienced life, things that have happened in the past, exciting, funny things that have happened, without necessarily out and out contradicting them, just providing an alternative perspective. Number 4, quality time is about having fun together. And what fun is depends on you and your children and your spouse. It could be music, it could be jokes, it could be actually building something together. It could be going out. It could be visiting others. Every family has its unique experiences, but it needs to be fun for everybody. And finally, quality time with your children also involves teaching them your values and passing on your values to them. Doing this in a pleasant way through sharing everyday experiences. So for example, you can share with them some of the mistakes you made when you were younger and how that has helped you to choose these values. You can share with them how other people in your life passed on these values to you. And these stories that involve you getting vulnerable with them is a great way to bond with your children and to pass values on. And you can also show them by example as you face various scenarios, as you spend time together, by the choices you make to speak the truth, to show love to others, to be on time. You can demonstrate these values also to them. I'll end with specific things that you can do to make the time together quality time. The truth is, almost anything can be quality time as long as you, your spouse, and your children are enjoying it. Your imagination is the limit. So with children, one example is playing games together. It can be a board game. It can be computer games. As long as you're doing it together, your kids are going to enjoy it and love it. Another thing you can do is playing games in the car. This could be singing in the car, playing some other fun word games. You can ask your kids to come up with these games and find ways to make your car time quality time. You can also schedule individual time with each of your children. This is just one-on-one, you and them. You can give them a small budget and you can have them pick an activity that the two of you can do. And this can be a great way of getting really intimate quality time with each individual child. You could do one child a month or one child every 2 months or whatever schedule makes sense. As long as about once a year you have this special, it's only your time, I'm focused on you as a kid. It works really, really well. And you can play music and dance together. For most African families, we love to dance. You can do dancing competitions, show them the stuff that their parents are made of, and enjoy the music that young people like. Share with them the music of your times. Argue about whose music is more fun. And music can be a really, really great way to bond, to have fun, to connect, and to have quality time. Cooking, especially cooking together, When I was a kid, my mom taught me how to cook, and then she would allow me to experiment. And so I got to try different combinations, see if it would taste good. And if what I experimented with tasted good, we would have fun, we would eat it. And if it didn't taste good, I mean, we would just give it to the dog. But it was a fun way for me to talk to her about cooking and to really get adventurous with my cooking. Doing house chores together, I could be cleaning the car together. You just need to make sure that you are positive and affirming in the way you talk to them as you do the chores. Commend them when they've done a good job. If they have missed something or the quality is not great, still commend them and say, this side could have been done better, and demonstrate so that you're showing them, you're modeling, you're affirming them, you're building them up. Don't tear them down and criticize them throughout the chores, because then they don't enjoy spending time with you. Now, some examples of activities you could do with your spouse. I already talked about spending time together in the evening. You could just have a special drink, some lemonade or a glass of wine in the evenings, and chat about your day just for 15 minutes before you go to bed. I talked about having lunch or dinner together. And one fun thing that I've tried with my husband is learning a sport together or learning an activity together. So we tried to learn golf together. I'm not very athletic, so I really sucked. He did really well, so I don't really play golf that often. He does more. But we had about 2 months where we spent a lot of quality time on the golf course, and that was really, really fun, and it built our relationship. So remember, the goal is to make it easy and enjoyable. As long as you're enjoying it, they're enjoying it, it's quality time, and it's in those moments that you're going to create those deep connections, so that when they grow older, those are the memories that will shape their lives and give you the social capital to be able to influence them when the tough times come. Hope these tips have been helpful to you. We'll be doing more Q&As. Ask your question, join my Facebook group, join the Telegram channel, or go to my website and fill the form anonymously with your question. They're all in the description box. Subscribe to the channel and then click on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any future episodes.